Alright guys, HyDra again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Cheating drama is so back in Call of Duty right now. So many new blatant cheaters exposed over these last 24 hours. But what are they going to do about it? What can Treyarch do? What can Activision do? What can the community do to potentially get on top of this? So many pro players and community members commenting over the last day or so about this major issue in Call of Duty that is pushing many pro players away from competitive play. If it's pushing the pros away, they get paid to play this game. What does it mean for the casual competitive audience? Very much into your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate. Plenty to get into as always. First of all, the Pioneers are back. This is their roster for the upcoming season. Pretty good one, it's got to be said. We've got Rex, Johnny, Standy, and aBeZy. Of course, notable players over the last few years that have, most of these guys had their opportunities in the CDL. I think Rex was on the borderline of getting an opportunity last season. I think he was linked to the Minnesota Rocket for some time. That never actually happened in the end. But yeah, aBeZy was in the league last year, didn't go to plan. Standy was in the league last year, didn't go to plan. Of course, he ended up joining that Rocket team mid-season. Wasn't the best idea. And then Johnny, of course, Johnny, who's been around the league a couple of times now, and to be fair, to decent effect last year on Vegas, but of course that team then collapsed. The Falcons have come in and the rest is history since then. So on paper, that's a pretty nice team. See how those guys get on in challenges, whether any of them can make their name again and get back up to the CDL. Certainly, I think, Johnny and Standy as SMG players, they could well have a chance. It's more challenging as an AR. Speaking of SMGs, though, there are other SMGs on the list, I would say, ahead of the likes of Standy and Johnny right now, and that mainly being Hook. I mean, this was some, matches that were going down last night. We've got this team of Prolute, Spark, Capsule, and Hook that they're running with right now, and, Hook was 39 in 19 for the dub. Donny Tep was watching this one in, I'm sure that he wasn't shocked about it, because Hook's been on fire, but nonetheless, look at this guy. Double positive, almost 40 frags here, and this, of course, 40 kills. That's pure kills. That's not eliminations, as we know is a thing in Call of Duty under these recent Treyarch games. But yeah, that's a protocol hardpoint that Hook absolutely dominates. And as Nameless says, he needs to be on a starting team ASAP with this Omni movement in the game. Hello, surely he should be the first guy to go up. And that's the thing, people have discussed it. Methods has discussed it. This guy is so good right now, Hook, in this game against certainly this level of player, to be fair, but also in 8s against the pro players. Hook's been frying. Do you just put him into the league now? Like, if I'm a team, yes, I've spent the off-season forming my roster, but now Hook is showing in these early couple of weeks of Black Ops 6, he's the man to get. He's probably better than some of the players I've got on my team. So what am I going to do about it? Am I going to, say, well, I've made my decision, I've spent the money, let's be honest. Or are they going to say, all right, we're going to bring Hook in right now? Because someone's going to do it. At some point this season, if it stays like it is, Hook's getting brought up back to the CDL. The question is who and when, and whether teams could jump the gun on that to make some of those decisions right about now. I think that there's definitely an argument that could be made there. One thing I'm interested about, I know that you guys will say, oh, this is relevant, and maybe it is, but Hook was born in Saudi Arabia. So if there is any situation that goes on with that Falcons team, of course, Priestahh, the head coach of Falcons, he knows Hook pretty well. I would not be surprised if Hook isn't signed in a couple of months and that Falcons team starts the season the way we expect them to, for them to say, look, for Clay to say, hey, let's maybe think about making a change here. We'll pick up Hook before anybody else does. You've still got that Saudi piece of the puzzle. And, I don't know. But I guess I'm not sure Hook speaks Arabic. And I'm guessing the comms maybe of the Falcons team are going to be in Arabic. But obviously they've been teaching Clay some Arabic, so I don't really know. It's probably not going to happen, but I just thought I'd throw it out there because I do find that conversation kind of interesting. Speaking of the Falcons, guys, though, Khalid, the first CDL pro to hit top 250 in ranked. I thought this was kind of nice because obviously he's on the Falcons, so he's got the pro player tag, right, next to his name, and here he is, Khalid on the Falcons team, number 74 in the top 250 as of last night. So congrats to him for being the first pro to pretty much make it, right, because so many other pros just aren't even bothering, and it's a sad state of affairs. But look, we have community members have got to number 1, right, and I'm sure we're going to have other guys grind it as well, but so many players, they're not even going to bother with ranked because it's simply not worth their time playing against hackers all day. And that's where we are again. So we saw this clip yesterday where Simp's gunning this guy and he jumps out the window and absolutely slams him. And as I said yesterday, the thing that is remarkable to me is that the cheats that I'm seeing in CoD in ranked over the last couple of days are the most egregious that I've ever seen. And yet the anti-cheat just seemingly does nothing about it at all. If someone's got a wall hack and it's, you know, a margin, look, a hack is a hack. If you're cheating, you're cheating. But the fact that people are able to be confident to just use the straight up, you know, aim bots and even cheats even more egregious than that, where you don't even have to see the guy, you just shoot through a wall and you kill him guaranteed with a single bullet. Like, those type of cheats are just being used. And apparently the anti-cheat doesn't even detect it. It's like, what are we doing here? At least in the last few years, the cheaters would have to use lesser cheats, as it were, in order to maybe get away with it. But it's as bad as it's ever been right now. Now, COD say, oh, well, our bad, guys. We had some data outage which lowered the efficacy of our AI detecting systems. That's been fixed. Don't worry. The cheaters are going to be gone. And they're adjusting the threshold of targeting of a suspicious account. So, you know, the issue is, if someone gets reported a lot, then they get potentially shadow banned or just straight up bans. Unfortunately, given you might think everyone's cheating, because sometimes they are, it affects things, right? Because pro players get reported relatively frequently. So are they going to start getting banned despite not cheating? That's the issue that we find ourselves in, I think. And, you know, they're looking at suspicious players. The thing that kind of frustrates me is that it should be possible for a developer to simply watch Havoc's stream and just ban all of these guys within minutes. And you're never going to get all of them, but I think you probably could cleanse the top 250 players of a vast majority of cheaters just by spending 24 hours watching pro player streams. Like, it could be done, and it's not being done, which is frustrating. Ksan's going to try, we'll discuss that in a second, but as Mutex says, because Simp says, ranked players turn my brain to mush, the hackers are winning, I'm just calling it a day. And as Mutex says, like, this is a pro CDL player who's basically, it's not like he's not doing his job, you know what I'm saying, right? But Mutex has a fair point that Simp is getting pushed away from playing COD, and he'd rather just say, all right, I've finished scrims for the day. Instead of playing more competitive COD in ranked or whatever, I'm just going to go watch a movie with my girl or whatever, right? And it's because of the anti-cheat. I really hope something is done about this. Imagine how many casuals decided to quit. I think this is the key point. And I've heard this conversation. Counter-Strike is a very interesting game. It's a phenomenal game. Cheaters are an issue. They always will be on some level, but it's nowhere near as bad as it is in COD at the present time. I've heard lots of people over the last few years tell me that they used to play CS, but they stopped because of the cheaters. And that's a common story that many people have heard if they've, you know, played enough CS over time. Now, it's got better, for sure, since those days where those type of comments were rife. But it's the same thing in COD. Like, you know, people are going to be telling me in a few years, yeah, I quit because of the hackers. And that's such a frustrating situation to be in. So as Octane says, at Treyarch, at Activision, fix your game right about now. It's got to be done. So let me share a couple of clips here. Some pros, fair play to them, they're still grinding on. Ghosty, Envoy, among others, you know, methods. They're getting in there, Nadeshot, they're getting in there, they're playing the game, they're playing the hackers, and they're trying to beat the hackers. And it can be entertaining content, but it is just a disaster that it's got to this point. And even HyDra is in the same boat. Nade calls him up and says, hey, you want to hop on? And HyDra's like, well, I've heard it's full of hackers. Why would I even bother playing? So it's just an absolute unmitigated disaster.
There was they hosted a switch on it. I don't know how big the pot was, but
nobody, bro.
Literally the day fucking private match came out. But there's probably a pretty big pot, I'm not gonna lie. We used to get our switches up to like fucking...
All good, I'm dying to them and then getting clips and sending it to Activision. That's all good. They're all gonna get banned soon.
No, wait, you have to connect, dude? They're not even in often.
Yo, you want me to call Paco?
Where's the king?
I actually think Paco loves me, but he don't know how much I love him. So let's see what he says. Paco!
What's good, bro?
Are you doing anything right now?
No, I'm eating.
All right, well, hey, scarf that shit down and come play ranked with me and Zuma and Gravity.
You wanna play ranked, bro? I haven't played yet.
Well, now's the best time to jump in with us, big dog.
What's you guys ranked? Bro, there is too many hackers, bro.
Yeah, it's all hackers, but like, what were you gonna do for the rest of the night? We need vibes. Hold on, bro. I gotta talk to you heart to heart. Listen, man, you got your crew. It's you, Scrap, fucking Envoy, and Ghosty, right? Great time, for sure. You got Shane and Center, all good. Bro, me, Tom Gravity, and Tommy Zuma the Stallion, I think you'll have more fun than you could ever imagine, especially when we're watching you drop 60 kills and I'm sliding your aim assist and just capturing these controls, these hard points for you, big dog.
Okay, I can see that.
And just know, like, think about it, bro. You're only on a 2-year deal, and I'm never letting you walk away. So just think, bro. This is like what's it called? Community service, bro. This is gonna get you a bigger check in the long run.
How much we talking?
Well, I ain't talking numbers right now, but let's see how many kills you get, then maybe we could start putting some pen to paper.
These new gen, they always want a quick payday.
Think about it, bro. Just think about it. I'm not trying to force your hand. I don't want to make you do something you're not required to come do this, but we would love to have you.
Okay, what about you give me 15 minutes?
15 minutes? We'll play one away for you, big dog.
All right, let's go.
Let's go, Paco. And then I'm going to show you what an American Thanksgiving is like. Let's go. All right, I got the answer I needed. I hung up on it. I cannot believe there is not one employee over the thousands that probably work at Activision that can't just sit here and watch. I mean, I know it sounds selfish, bro, but it's the most people across these 4 people playing that are just diving into rank play, just live ban people. Like, you just sit there with a keyboard and copy and paste the names. We're watching the fucking kill cams. You could see it happening. Just start getting rid of them all. Just fucking ban them. And then people will stop doing it. Maybe. Probably not. How can they not just sit there and manually take names as we have them literally aim locking? Instead, they say this. We've identified and fixed a data outage that lowered efficacy of AI systems. They said that to the Call of Duty community, bro. That was their one of the statements that the team at Ricochet made. Motherfucker, I gotta chat GPT this entire sentence to understand what the fuck you're talking about. We're accelerating replay investigations to review suspicious players. You don't need to review any fucking replays. We got it live here. If their replay system is anything like their theater that I just tried earlier today, then we're all fucked. The problem is too is that the game is actually fun, bro. This is one of the better Call of Duties that I have ever played, and I genuinely mean that. That's not me trying to save face. I've been saying it before we even dealt with the rank play cheating epidemic, bro. I actually fucking love this game, but we can't even play it.
Boys, that's so embarrassing. You're cheating like that and you lose a game like that? I couldn't even imagine being that piss poor, fellas.
I'm on console. I'm not cheating. I'm on console.
I couldn't imagine, bro. I could. You have an illness, brother. You have it. Check into it. Check into a hospital, fellas. You have an illness.
I'm literally on console.
Listen, we see you guys cheating in the guild game. Shut the fuck up.
I'm on console.
Shut up, dude. We literally can watch the kill cams.
Nadeshot, your hairline's receding badly, man.
And brother, I would rather have a receding hairline than live in the existence of your fucking life, brother. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Ooh, blood pressure's going up.
That felt good.
Felt good.
That felt good.
So it seems Kayson's going to try and do something about this because he's got the contacts, right? This is what Hitch was frustrated about in part, that Kayson was able to go in and actually run that showdown or showcase, whatever tournament that he ran a few days ago now with the full rosters. The OpTic roster, the Thieves roster, the FaZe roster, and the Cloud9 guys as well. Bringing all the rosters together has never been done before in the CDL era in a tournament that wasn't an official CDL tournament. Hitch has been trying to do that for years. They always told him no. Kayson, they told him yes. And, this is good for everyone. Obviously, Kayson running that 50k tournament the other day. Hitch now can say, well, you let Kayson do it. Why can't I do it for future tournaments? Which is probably going to be a good thing for the competitive scene in the longer term once these things start to filter through. But Kayson's clearly got the contact with Activision, with the developers seemingly. And he tweeted the following out a couple of days ago now. If you see cheaters in CoD ranked play, drop their Activision IDs in the comments, and obviously need some clips as well rather than just gamer tags, and I'll send them in. So, Kayson's maybe trying to take matters into his own hands here, and this is the thing. Havoc's on the stream playing cheaters all the time. That clip that I shared to you guys, I mean, he hops on first game of the day, and he's getting aimbotted immediately. It's like, what am I meant to do about this? It's incredibly frustrating for everyone involved. I'm sure the developers are trying, but they might be too busy, making some new skins or some new cosmetics or finding a new way to sell a bundle pack than actually deal with some of these issues, right? Because, as I say, it would only take a few developers to work directly with some of these top players and watch their streams and have them submit numbers, and they could ban a number of the top cheaters in the game manually. Like, it could be done. It's a workaround. It's obviously not ideal. The anti-cheats would work better. But if you do ban a lot of these guys, certainly if you can find a way to hardware ban or IP ban a lot of these guys, then it makes things way more challenging. And also, you know, people won't just do it because they know they're going to get caught. I think it's the consequences, isn't it? Like, the cheaters right now, they're 99% sure they can just get away with it. And to be honest, they can, based on the way that it currently looks. And, you know, they're having to cheat at aimbot against pro players that are streaming to thousands of viewers, and they're still pretty sure they're not going to get banned because of it. That's the crazy thing to me. It's like, you've got to have some sort of consequences, otherwise these guys are just going to keep doing it until the end of time. So that's the problem. Octane says, you know what, maybe we've got another approach. If they can't solve the hackers, then instead of that, for content, we will simply bring our own hackers on board and use them like Pokemon to combat the Sith. So, you know, fighting fire with fire. We then say, okay, we've got our resident hacker, their team's got their resident hacker, who's going to win the game? It used to be a thing in Counter-Strike, as I say, back in the day, when people would go hack for hack, when, you know, your guy would turn on the spin bot, and then the guy on the other team, therefore, turns on the spin bot to say, all right, who's got the better spin bot? Let's go and see who's going to win the game. So, yeah, an absolute shambles, but very much enjoyed your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Super sad to hear for Clay as well, because, yeah, he's not a player anymore, but as he says, I can't even play my favourite game due to cheating. I know it's beating a dead horse, but it's legit 10 hackers to one real game. Tough solve, but it's actually ridiculous that we find ourselves where we do for a franchise as big as Call of Duty. But very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.